Hey guys, how's it going? You good? I'm good. Welcome back to another installment of me talking about clothes I can't afford, specifically Reformation. Reformation is a sustainable clothing brand based in Los Angeles, California, founded by Yale, and I do apologize, but I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm just gonna show it on the screen every time I say her name. The brand's really grown popular among people in their mid-teens, mid-20s, basically young adults, for their whole sustainable niche. The brand's founder, Yale, was a model, so it is something to expect. The reason I'm covering them is because with every brand, it's very easy to say oh, we're sustainable, we're this, or we're that, and everyone just believes them, and all these influencers just put on their clothes. The reason why I'm mainly interested in the brand is because other YouTubers I used to watch, like Ashley from Best Dressed, talk about the brand all the time, and then you just look at them wearing all these clothes looking amazing, and you think, oh my god, the day I can finally earn enough money to justify spending $150 on a crop top, I'm gonna buy this. But then I can't. But what I can do is scroll through their website. I'm gonna scroll through the website, see what I like, not buy it anyway, and talk about the company's ethics. So I've just logged on to their website, and then the first thing you see when you go on is that they've got this Let's Make Masks initiative where they're making masks for essential workers, which, well done. I do applaud them for that. They've even got some instructions for how you can make your own mask, which I think are really helpful. That's pretty cool. So like I've mentioned before, the clothing is really expensive, and they justify this by talking about, how it's all ethically made, ethically sourced, and the people are paid properly. Like their main factories are in Los Angeles, so it's easy to trace the labor force in that. Then they also get healthcare and English lessons and citizenship lessons, which I take it being in Los Angeles, most of them are going to be immigrants from Mexico, and I think that's pretty good. I don't know many places that do that. And health insurance in America, that's also very good. No fault so far. So you've got this cruise dress. No one is going on a cruise anywhere anytime soon. It low-key looks like an apron. That looks like someone is wearing a literal apron about to barbecue. So another feature of their website is where they have the details of the clothes and stuff. They have a sustainability section where they tell you how much has been saved by making the garment, the way they make it, as opposed to a regular manufacturer. So on this dress, they're 15 pounds of carbon dioxide and 196 gallons. I don't know what gallons are, I'm not American, but 196 gallons of water saved and 1.3 pounds of waste savings. That's very vague. Sustainably made in China. Moving on. Oh, they've got this canal dress. This is very boat themed. There's a theme here. That is a lot leg show. Where you go, unless you're wearing this with tights or something, but I don't really like wearing dresses with tights if it's a summer dress because it's really warm. So with that much leg on show, I just want to make sure the dress is at least lined because it's not lined. So not only are you showing all that thigh, you are also showing everything that's underneath, and you're paying 215 pounds. Is there a lined version for 5 extra pounds or something? Here we have, so it's 235 pounds, and I just checked, it doesn't come with the dog. It's sold separately. That doesn't look lined to me, so I'm just gonna look again. Yep, unlined. This is a recurring theme. Hey, you know how you can be sustainable? Save fabric. Don't line your clothing. We have this dress, which is longer, which is more fabric. That back is automatically you cannot wear a bra. I don't know how you would get support if you were anything more than she is. There's who can get away with this. Yep, it's unlined again. This is a theme. This is a recurring theme. Why don't they line their dresses? Oh, they even say not bra friendly. Sustainably made in China. This is a recurring thing. I thought this company was based in Los Angeles. Why is all their clothing being made in China? All the clothes I've randomly picked, all of them are sustainably made in China. This is getting dodgy, folks. So apparently they also do wedding dresses, which, I mean, if they charge 200 pounds for a day dress, I can only imagine what they charge for a wedding dress. So the first one is 460 pounds, which in comparison to other wedding dresses from what I've seen, when I was a kid and I used to watch As to the dress, that sounds quite reasonable. I remember being a kid and the woman would walk in and be like, I'm buying this dress, but my budget is only $2,000, and I'd be like, how stingy is she? That's all she's gonna spend? Because I had no concept of money whatsoever, and now I'm just like, oh my goodness, people spend that much for a dress you're only gonna wear once? Get a rental, or maybe get one from Reformation. If you can deal with the fact that your whole chest and your whole leg is out. How many people have a neck that long and leg that long? More importantly, how many people want to be wearing that while their mothers-in-law and other official people are there. And another thing, they only go up to a size 12, but at the moment all the 10s and 12s are gone, which can only tell you that the majority of people who want to buy these are 10s and 12s, but they don't make enough sizes. The average dress size of a woman in the UK is size 14, and if you only go up to a 12 on the majority of your clothes, you're cutting out an entire customer base. But then again, what can we expect? Because the brand was founded by a literal model and has investors like Carly Kloss, who is also a literal model. So of course they want to dress people who look like them. It only makes sense. Made in the USA. Finally! Same model again in another very revealing dress, which I'm assuming is a bridesmaid dress for eating dinner next to weird cousins. Again, only up to size 12, again unlined. Now, I just want to clarify that just because they are made in the USA, that doesn't automatically mean it's sustainable or that there is no worker exploitation involved, because it is very easy to exploit people no matter where you are if you are not paying them living wages. I'm just happy seeing this because it means that it is at least more traceable. So this is another bridesmaid's dress. I'm just clicking on it because the color seems nice, but again, who is wearing this? You cannot wear a bra with this. It already looks unlined. Let's check. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lined dress. They actually can line dresses and they just haven't been on purpose. And she looks hot with her really long legs and her really long neck and her unattainable body, which is why they only limit it to the size 12. Another thing that I forgot to touch on is most of these clothes are dry clean only. So not only will you be spending hundreds of dollars on an item of clothing just to get it, but you will have to spend more just to maintain it. If I were to have a t-shirt that I can only dry clean for 15 years, and dry clean is like, I don't know how much dry clean is, so I'm gonna assume 15 bucks every time. So 15 pounds every time I go and dry clean something that I paid 52 pounds for, but that sounds like a lot. So now that we've had a bit of a feel of what the website is about, what the clothes are like, I'm gonna talk about the company and its roots. So like I mentioned before, Yale is the founder of the company, who was a former model, had seamstress roots in her family, started the company 2011-ish, and now the company has basically blown up to what it is today, which is the be-all and end-all of sustainable brands for fashionable teens and women in their 20s and 30s and that kind of thing. Everyone wants to wear Reformation. Well, I want to wear Reformation. Maybe I'll change my mind at the end of this video. Company features that make it stand out from other companies and market as this sustainability, that make it a leader in sustainability, are there is a section on their website where you can buy carbon offsets. You can do that on their website. However, if you try and look into it a bit much, there isn't that much detail on the website about it, but you know, it's a start, I guess. But another thing you can do is just directly donate yourself and not necessarily purchase through them as a middleman. I don't really see why they specifically have to provide it. There is also Ref Recycling, which is a program where customers can send back their old clothes and they can be recycled into other clothes or resold after being fixed. If you go on their Instagram with the wedding dress thing, they also offer advice on how to run a sustainable wedding, although a really sustainable wedding would just be to go to the council and get the papers signed and have a drink and go home, but hey, that's just me. Also, they state that 15% of their clothes are made from dead stock, which is they recycle like offcuts from materials after they've been cut, or old clothing that they source, some of their old clothing from the ref recycling thing. But that's dropped from 50% because when the company first started, Yale used to sew all the clothes, about 75% of the clothes from old offcuts and old clothes that she would source from elsewhere. So that drop is probably a reflection of how much demand they've had and how you kind of can't get as much old clothes to source to make new clothes that fill the demand for your clothing now. The surge in them isn't as much to do with their desirability as it is with haul culture. If you go on YouTube and search Reformation haul, there are hundreds, maybe not hundreds, tens of videos of YouTubers being like, I did a Reformation haul for $500 of it, although in hindsight, $500 on Reformation will get you like 3 items. Still, that culture of people bulk buying their clothes, which completely goes against the concept, because sustainable clothing is supposed to be about you buy what you need, only when you need it, and then you buy nothing more. But if you do a haul and you're hoarding things you don't need, that'll then languish in your wardrobe and then languish in a landfill, because I doubt that these people are even aware of the whole ref recycling thing. Yale, the founder, also boasts about their largely female employee base. These are all good things. These are all great things that make people love the company. But there are also some negative things I'd like to point out. We saw the unlined, the braless, the only tall people can pull off clothing that they have going on. And we saw the exclusion of, if you're anything above a size 12, we're not selling to you. I mean, they have some plus size clothing, and they only had new plus size clothing in about 2016, 2015 with their first plus size model, Ali Tate Cutler, who is a person who has made some fat shamey kind of comment. When Reformation were asked about it, they were like, well, her thoughts don't reflect us, although they kind of do because of all the plus size models you could have picked. And to think that Ali Tate Cutler, a plus size model, is a size 14, which in real life isn't even plus size. Like I said before, it's average, it's normal size. Plus size would be like, I don't know, 20. And it also creates a level of elitism, because if you're saying in order to be sustainable you also need to be hot, and if you're saying that a cute flowery dress is saving the planet, no, it's not. That's a lie. Which brings me to the lie on their website, which is walking around naked is the number one sustainable thing you can do. We're number two. No, you are not. Number two is thrifting. Maybe they're trying to get close to the naked ideal with all their unlined clothing. I don't know. So when you are saying that only certain people can fit into our clothing, like, I get there are other sustainable brands, but if all the other teens are wearing this and I want to wear this and show that I'm sustainable, but you're not making clothes in my size or putting them on people that look like me, it's kind of contradictory to the whole inclusion thing, which is a major theme in sustainability. It's inclusivity. They make clothes for a specific type of person and they boast about, clothes for women, made by women. But if you think about the women who make these clothes will not only never be able to wear them, but possibly never be able to afford them, if not for this specific reason that they know exactly how the clothes are made and they're like, I'm not paying $200 for that. When you juxtapose the picture of the model who wears the clothing versus the picture of the garment worker who's making them, and they are two completely different women, two completely different sizes. So from what you saw, we had to click through several pieces of clothing before we found any that were made in the US, and they didn't say LA, so I'm guessing they are made in some other parts of the US. But regardless, when you think about that versus them, like, they now have open tours where people can go and look at their factories and see how ethically everything's made, see how happy everyone is in the factory, and you're like, wow, they are really making a difference, which is good. I mean, for people who want to go into the industry and want to see what a factory looks like, for people who want to see this transparency from companies like that, it's good, it's great. I think if I had access to that, I would go and see a factory like that. So then you think about, they also have factories in Turkey, factories in China. Is there a tour for the Chinese factories? I don't think so. They say that 60% of their clothes are made in LA and then 40% in the rest. But that's still a pretty high ratio, considering when the company started, all of the clothes were made in LA. And as the company's growing, more of the clothes will be outsourced to other companies to be made in other countries. When you think about Yale and her ambitions to grow the company to be as big as Zara, as she said in a New York interview, I'll link the article in the description. Yeah, so she said she wants to grow production to be as big as a company like Zara, which is a billion-dollar company with factories all over the world. And I've already spoken about their ethics, which are horrible. So when you think about that level of ambition and the amount of work it would take to keep the company sustainable, it's already headed in a wonky direction. In the article I'm referring to, the author says that she'd been a long-time customer of Reformation, and she also noted a decline in the quality of the clothing over time. So that could be maybe because of the outsourcing of the labor. So in all the US factories, from the list that's on the website, on the Reformation website of their factories and suppliers, which I will link and list, the max number of factory workers in a US factory is 99, but the max number of factory workers in a Chinese factory is 999. Now, are all 999 workers in each Chinese factory getting a living wage, a masseuse on site, English lessons, whatever equivalent like the US ones are? If it's not transparent, then I don't think so. I mean, if they have, and if anyone knows, feel free to comment, but I didn't see anything, and I spent 2 good hours of my life looking into it, which I'll never get back. And we all know the high risk of labor exploitation that is in those Chinese factories. Okay, I think I'm done ranting for the day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if I've been wrong about anything. Again, we are all learning when we're on the internet, right? You gotta take everything with a pinch of salt. This is just what I found. This is just what I think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time.